Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today's training session on audit confirmation. In today's webinar, our host Prerna will be speaking on how Firmway has simplified the process of confirmations and maintained the plans related to SA 505. In short, about our host, so Prerna is our audit confirmation expert holding a good experience in implementing automation. She helps transform our clients to get automated in confirmation process rather than doing it manually. We are going to start the webinar in few minutes. If you face any issues while attending the webinar and if you have any queries regarding the software, kindly drop your queries in Q&A section. As well as we are going to start the webinar in few minutes. If you have any questions, you can ask. We will wait for more 2 minutes to all the attendees to join. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. This is Prerna, your speaker, as introduced by teacher. Thank you for joining this webinar today out of taking your precious time. As mentioned by teacher, we are going to learn and understand how we are going to roll out the confirmations, the statutory confirmations from the portal of Firmway. Before any further ado, let's begin. Just to cover, we'll have our audit confirmation overview, account setup on Firmway, how to send an audit confirmation, how we are going to monitor and set up or save the documentations, and further we can have a room for the queries. So before getting into the webinar or starting the training, let me brief you a quick importance of why audit confirmation is required. As we all are aware of the standards of SA 505 that requires the auditors to take external confirmations directly from the parties who obtain the relevant and reliable audit evidence, as to avoid the frauds which have been discovered in the past 5 decades. Wirecard or Satyam, and plus more than 75 companies. SA505 external confirmations has the third highest non-compliance finding, to which we'll be having a resolution. Before that, let's go through the reports. Out of five, 1 out of 5 firms are non-compliant to SA505, which is a critical issue, right? Further, why they are not able to carry out this performance? Because not able to take the external confirmations in a procedure and keeping the documentation, not performing external confirmation and procedures in accordance to SA 505. Below are few examples as the trade receivables and payables, loans and advance given or received, bank borrowing, investments, brokerage, etc. So to have a thorough control on your confirmations and the audit, we have a solution. So Firmway brings up to you a three-way process which involves auditor, the client authorization, that would be your corporates, and the response who you're getting from, that would be your customers, your vendors, or the bankers, right? How this software will benefit you. So the benefits would be, we'll use our emails as a traditional method of sending the confirmations, having a real-time status. That would be either the party has the mail on their delivery or read or responded. Further, Firmway will help you to give the key statistics in the amount of percentage, differences, etc. Further, while not receiving the responses, we have an automate follow-ups done. You get the summary of the responses. Also, the audit document trail can be saved. Further, when the party is responding and in case they have any concerns or differences, they can perform the reconciliation on the platform itself while responding. Further, you can also have the audit trail recorded on your Firmway portal. So these are some benefits to the solution which we are providing on the issue, which is a high compliance on SA 505 terms. Now let's begin with how we'll set up the account on Firmway. As we all have come through this particular part, that registration, let's quickly see how the registration works. So when we use app.firmway.in to use the website to click on registration here. Quickly, we'll fill up the required details, the informer details, further the entity details, the name of the person who's accountable. In audit terms, it can be the partner, the associate partner who is taking care of the entire firm. And we'll click on completion. Once this is done, we'll quickly submit our audit confirmation document. That would be the member card or the firm card. Let's see what next. We have completed the registration, account setup. Once the account setup is done, we first thing need to do is the domain configuration, that is the DNS configuration. What is DNS configuration? Let me give you a right. Further, coming up to the DNS configuration, we'll quickly see that how our DNS is done. Here we have the domain configuration. We'll click on settings. When you get onto the portal, we'll enter the domain in here and click on verify. Once you click on verify, an entry will be generated and you have to download a set of records. Now these records are nothing but the text and the CNAME records, which will be provided by you to the domain service provider of yours and ask them to upload it on the domain server. Once we are done with this, we are here to add the users, right? Further, we'll go on settings, manage users, and we'll follow the same process. That would be manage user again, create a sub-user, or give them the role, that is authorizer, preparer, or portal manager. So generally what happens in here, the person who has registered their self will become as a super admin. Further, any further partners are registered would be considered as admin. Later, the audit managers would be the authorizer, And in case of any new joinees or articles would be considered as preparer, since they will not be rolling out the confirmations, but they will be preparing the input file and uploading on the portal. Portal managers are basically the admins who will be managing all the technicalities of the software, that would be adding a user, removing a user, or maintaining the list. Further, once this is done, we can simply add the details as per the role given, then the employee ID, name, last name, email ID, and if any branch is associated with the particular user, you can add them as well. Once our account activation is done, we'll quickly check how we can complete our manage client process. So we'll quickly run through that. Here we have manage client option in settings again. You can add a client in a single term, that is add client, and you can fill up these required details. You can give the PAN number, client name, associated POC with the client, the partner who is taking care of this particular client in your firm. In case of reviewer and preparer, reviewer is nothing but the authorizer here again. If you need to add them as a significant user, you can simply add them. If not, you can leave this as blank. Then we have this critical thing which needs to be handled, that is client settings. One-time authorization, transaction authorization, maker checker control, and client portal access. Let me quickly brief you how these work. Okay, so as you can see, there are not required as a default option, and you can see a drop down which has a required option. So what this one-time authorization defines is, choose this option if you want your client to approve one time at the time of initial setup. This means you can select this as required and ask your client to approve it from their end, and you are good to go for the further confirmations. Transaction authorization is, choose this option if you want your client to approve each time the confirmation has been sent. Further, we have a maker checker control. So this particular option, if you want as an authorizer, as I mentioned, our audit managers or the seniors to approach each time for you to sending the confirmation. Now, this particular control is for the internal firm control. Further, we have a client portal access, which defines as yes or no. Why this is given, as you can enable your client to view and manage their confirmations on the Firmway portal. So likewise, you have your dashboard, your client will also have a likewise dashboard, and they can only and only track their particular confirmations on their portal. Below, we have email attachments. As we all are aware that we need to add an authority letter which has been signed and printed on the letterhead of the respective company. So you have to come below here. You can take the samples from here and print and customize according to your convenience and upload it on the given tab. So if you are going out for MSME confirmation, you can use these. Here we have for the banks, and this would particularly be for balance confirmation. In case of any further attachments you need to attach or share out as a document to the particular confirmation, you can simply use this additional attachment document. Okay. Herein, you have to choose a confirmation type which you are associating the document to, and further use the file, and you can simply add multiple files as well. Once this particular form has been filled, you can simply click on submit and your entry will be generated. Now, this was a way of adding a singular form. In case you have to attach multiple forms, multiple corporates together, simply click on import, download this file, and the same details will be shown to you in the Excel file, which you can further come back and upload it in here. Once you're done with that, you will get your entries as you can see on the screen. For moving further, as we have completed our client setup, we'll see how we are going to roll out the confirmation. Now, before exactly beginning with that, let's have a quick poll to understand our audience better. So here we have the first poll. So tell us more about you. Do we have partners or articles on the screen? 5 more seconds on the poll. Great. The anticipation from the audience is highly appreciated here. Moving along for the next poll. Please specify yourself, as you would be a new user, an existing user with us, or a freemium user who is just exploring Firmway portal and would like to have a thorough details. Thank you so much for your response. For the audience who have joined from the YouTube on the link, if you are not able to add down your comments, you can definitely drop us an email and ask the query on the email channel. 5 more seconds to this poll. Great. Moving along. So there is a poll, last poll, but not the least, before moving with other further process. What percent of your client typically have audit confirmation sent through Firmway? Great. To the audience again on the YouTube, you can drop us your comments, or you can just write us an email. Also, if the audience joining on YouTube can create a channel if they are not able to comment directly, and that would be convenience if you directly drop us any comment via your channel. Okay, 5 more seconds to this poll and we can move forward. Great. Thank you so much, participants, to show interest and giving us your inputs. So now here we are seeing requesting audit confirmation. How are we going to request and process the confirmation? So here, while rolling out the confirmation, we generally have three types of practice. One, we only roll out the balances to the party. Second, we use our ledgers to send as an attachment. And then there is a third one where you have ledgers in different PDFs or different Excel. So you can also attach those in zip file. Okay. So let me quickly show you how we can do that. So first we'll see how we will be rolling out the confirmations only with zip and how the input files are prepared for the same. Here you can see that we'll be using the confirmation. The file has been prepared in general way, reference number, entity name, name of the person, email, mobile number, and you can add 5 more email IDs for such. Okay. Moving along, you can give their name, the way we emailed, and the response type would be positive, negative, and blank. So as you can see on the screen, then we have further currencies to add in. Now let me explain you how the negative confirmation works. When we have a negative confirmation in here, we have to make sure that the amount is given in either of the columns given. But when you add a blank response type, you make sure that there is no amount in any of the columns. And also if you are using a negative or positive one, you cannot keep it blank. You have to fill it with an amount. Further, once this is done, You can add remarks into this columns, and you can see that there are multiple currencies as well you can use to roll out the confirmation throughout the globe. Once this file is done, you can simply save the file and move along to the portal. So here, when you click on the portal, you add the audit type as statutory, confirmation type as balances, company name, whichever your company you're selecting to roll out the confirmation for, branch if any, and the as on dates. Once this is done, the authorization would be your audit partner who is taking association for the particular company. Then we have send ledger. So since this is our only confirmation, we'll be not selecting anything but only no. Upload the file and give the file name. Once you give the file name, you simply click on upload. Now, once you click on upload, in case of any such error, you simply refresh the page and you can be able to see that the file status is success. So this was the first case scenario where we are only using the balances to roll out the confirmation. Further, we will be having attachment in Excel file. So how are we going to prepare the attachment file? Let's see. Here we have the balances. The input file has been prepared same. The first balance sheet will be prepared as same as it was prepared in only balances. All the details and all the things are as similar as it is. Okay. Moving along, we will be having attachment here. So as you can see, you can add any columns rather than adding, you can add any headers for the D column and ahead. You do not move any column from A, B and C, right? As you can see that there are customized columns as per your leisure. You fill up the same and further you can add the number of entries you have for the particular ledger. Here you can see that I have added two reference number which are as similar as there in the balances, right? You need to make sure that the reference number with the balances and the attachment sheet is same. That is how the system will understand and club your attachments with the given balance. Moving further, as you can see, you have to add the statutory audit. Audit type would be again statutory, balances, the name of the company as on date. Moving further, the send ledger now needs to be yes. And the ledger format in any of the given format, either PDF or Excel, whichever is as per your convenience, you have to select. So I'm going here with an Excel file. You have to upload the file as you have given the as you have prepared. Give the file name. And do not forget to add the authorization here, right? Once this is done, you can click on upload. So as you can see, again, if you have this page, you simply refresh it. The file status will show as success and the file attachment will be in progress. So when the file attachment is in progress, you have to give it a minute or two depending on how big your file is, right? Once this particular is shown as success, the status will turn to success. You can simply click on view and just have a maker checker that the attachment has been generated successfully. So as you can see that here there is an attachment, below attachment there is the name of your ledger starting with your entity name and it's a hyperlink, so you can just download your ledger and check whether it is being generated properly or not. So as you can see on my screen, I have the ledger downloaded from the system and here the given columns have been printed properly. So this was one second part, how you can prepare your input file. Now the last one, that is the zip attachment. So we'll quickly see how our zip attachment is generated. Before moving ahead, I would need to understand if you have any queries, please drop it in the chat box in any of the process we have covered till now. So here, as you can see, the file is the same. Okay. The entry would be again the same. Only the thing is, we will add the name of our PDF or Excel file which we are going to zip attach here. Okay. The only catch is you need to add the extension before your after your name, that is .pdf or .xls, whatever is your property. If you go in the property and check whatever is the extension to your file, you have to add the same in here. Okay. Before that, you have to add a dot, right? So as you can see, I have added the same. Moving further, this file will be prepared. What you need to do is you need to get the file. Okay. As you can see, you can get the file. Left click on that and compress it to zip. Once you compress it to zip, you will get a file like such, right? Now, when you get a file like such, we'll get to the portal now. And we'll also select the same fillings which we had done, the statutory audit, balances, name of the company who are rolling out the confirmation. Further, select the as on date and next. Now select the authorization. Now here you will not select anything. Directly select the file and give the name. As you can see in send ledger, I have selected as no, right? I'll give the file name. I'll click on upload. Once we are here again, we'll simply refresh, and here as you can see there is a option which shows as bulk attachment. Once you click on that, you will upload your zip file which you have prepared and click on upload. Once you click on upload, you will get a pop-up that file uploaded. Again, a maker checker will click on view and a similar link will be generated. You can also download the same. So as I have downloaded, you can see the PDF has been properly attached, which I was willing to do the same, right? So this is the 3 ways to prepare an input file and further which we can roll out the confirmations for. So the settings and the process, I hope it's clear to you guys. Moving along, I'll simply show once that is done, how we can move ahead and roll out the confirmation. So once you are completed with that process, you will land up to the page where you have to finally, you have the final settings in here. So you have to click on the email which you are willing to send the confirmations from. Then the email template will be default. There are firms who has customized their email content. So the particular email content will be reflected in this drop down itself. Then we have the authority letter. In case you have attached any authority letter, you will get it in this particular attachment section. If you want to add any contact person, in case your responder has query, you can add the same. Okay. Then here we say that send a statement as email attachment. So here it is a default as no. I will say yes, which will help this particular attachment to get generated with the email which has been sent on its mail body itself. Okay. So I'll say as yes. Moving along, I'll select the reminders. So as of now, I'm saying as no reminder here, and I'll move down. So I would like to connect this particular settings to the page we were on manage client, where we mentioned that either there's one-time authorization, the transaction authorization. So if any of those settings are different or enabled, saying that required, you will get a request likewise. Since this party has said not required to all of the settings, it will say as no, and you can directly roll out the confirmation. Once you click on send confirmation, this is how your page will turn out to be. Okay, here you will generate a pie chart. Just give me a second, guys. Right. So I'll quickly come back to the page where we were. So as you can see, the status is paid. That means we have just rolled out the confirmation and the pie chart will look like this. So here you will have a maroonish pie chart which will show initiated and the number of entries which you have. Okay. Meanwhile, how your party is going to receive the email. So this is a confirmation sent by you, okay? And this is the party who have received the particular email. So here will be your auditor account name, right? The party's name. The following contact person details given in here, okay? The authority letter which you have attached will be given in here. And there is a link through which your party can respond. So I'll just simply open this link. So once this link is opened, your party will have a form like such where they will be mentioned with the details given. Then there is entity name, the PAN auditee PAN name. Then the partner who has rolled out the confirmation details will be mentioned in here. Okay. Then the request that this particular audit confirmation is for so and so period, and the amount which you have mentioned in your Excel file will be displayed in here, right? Once this is displayed, you will be having the party will be having an option to say either amount is correct, and then they will be having this column as non-editable. If they say that amount is incorrect, this column will be editable to them. They can add their own balances in here. Okay. So now here they say that the file attachment is mandatory, right? If there is any differences found, you have to attach the file. You have to give, the party can give you the name and the file can be browsed. Any generic remark can go here. Okay. Now, in case if the party says the amount is correct, this would be the last step and directly it will receive an OTP. So it says that the Excel is mandatory. So I'll just browse the file. I'll say this is uploaded, but this is only for the amount is correct, incorrect. Okay. Moving along, just if the amount is correct, I'll show you one page that if the select amount is correct, this would be the last part where I will say that the designation of the responding person, the email ID will be defaultly set in here, okay? And I'll ask for a verification code. So the email ID which I have received the email on the same email ID, I will receive a verification code. So as you can see, I've received a verification code. I'll select this and I will paste it in here and say validate and submit. You can see the form has been submitted successfully. Once this is done, you can get back to the page, and now when the party says the amount is incorrect, they will get a reconciliation platform which the party can use without having any hesitation here. As the file has been given, they can simply reconcile their differences. Okay. And once this is done, if the party is not willing to do the reconciliation, they can simply skip the process. If they want to complete the reconciliation, they can say submit. Okay. I'll go ahead with skip and I'll say yes, submit. So once this entire process is completed, after the responses are submitted, you will be the party will be receiving a page like this, which can be downloaded in a PDF form, and all the details of the entire confirmation as a trail will be maintained in here. Okay. So further, you can see that who has been responding to it. The IP address would be captured in here. The date, time, which seconds are being captured. Further, the confirmation logs will be created for the audit purpose, which will help understand who has prepared, who has reviewed and approved the particular request, and further who has replied the same. Every entry will capture their IP address in here with the date and time. Okay. So this is how we will receive our confirmations. So this was the process of how we are going to roll out the confirmation and how we are going to receive the same. Now, once this is done, the entire process is done, we are left with tracking and monitoring the responses. Before going to that, let me have a quick, let me give you a quick window of queries if you have any. Okay, Now, before moving ahead, I quickly have a poll for you. So, which month do you plan to use use the Firmway software? What the in which month do we majorly roll out the confirmations? So again, for the YouTube audience there, I hope if you are able to create a channel, you may have created a channel. You can simply drop your comments. The reply you can drop in your comments section. If not, if you are not able to create a channel, you can anytime drop us an email. Five more seconds for this particular poll. I would request the participants to please reply. This will help us understand your pattern of rollout. Okay, moving along. Now we'll see how we track the confirmations and the responses. So here, when we click on when we log into the portal, we'll have a dashboard like such, right? We'll come in confirmation and click on track. So here you can respectively select the entity which you have rolled out the confirmation for. So I'll go with the party which I have rolled out. Select the period for which you want to see the confirmation trail, or you can say view all. Okay. Now the status is either you have kept the confirmation open or the confirmation is closed. From your side, the audit trail has been closed. If you want to check the both of those, you can say view all. I'll go with the open one and I'll say apply. Once you do so, you will get all the list of the confirmations you have rolled out, all the audit you have rolled out throughout the selected period. Now I'll just simply click on view to which I want to get the which audit I want to get in, right? So as you can see, I have responded to one of the parties. So the pie chart changes to responded and delivered. Further, you can have uh, the status. So these are the status. We have, as I mentioned earlier, we have multiple statuses in here. The responded means the party has given you the response, differences, and the ledger if required. Delivered, that means the party have only received the email and have not clicked on the link to respond. Further, if you have a read status in your pie chart, which will explain the party has clicked on the link but has not completed the response process, right? Further, you may have sent or failed cases which you need to update their email IDs for, right? Additional to that, in case these cases which are on delivered or read has a high possibility that they may have responded to you via email directly. As you can see that this particular mail gives you an option to reply, and the reply will directly go to the email which has sent this confirmation, which has been used to send this confirmation, right? So in that case, what you can do is, let's suppose say this particular party has responded to me via email. So I'll click on the three dots and I will say mark as respond. Okay. Once I say mark as respond, I'll get a pop-up. I'll say yes, mark as respond. This will be the entire page in front of me as we have for the party as well. I'll say the amount is correct or incorrect, whichever is convenient for me. Okay. Then I will say the power page asks me that give a manual respond reason. So I can say response received via email. Okay. And then they ask me a referral document. So what can we do is we can simply take a screenshot of this and we can upload it on the portal. So as you can see, I've taken a screenshot. I will upload it on the portal. If you have any other referral document, you can use the same. So if I can also attach an Excel file in here. Okay. Once this is done, I will say confirm. Once I confirmed it, the page will give me the status as it has been responded, right? So both the entries are now responded. One via link, one via manual responses, which is a mark as respond option given in the portal. Okay. Now, let's suppose say I have an option, like many of the queries come up that what if we have selected a wrong email ID and we need to change the email ID, right? Or we need to update the email ID. The email ID which we used is invalid anymore. This can be also applied in the sent or failed cases. So what we will do is we will simply come back to the page like view here. Okay. Now I have this delivered, both on delivered. I'll say that I'll select this particular entity and I'll go in bulk option. I'll go in revoke. I'll revoke the party and the pie chart will again change the status. As you can see, one is revoked, one is delivered. Once your entry is revoked, you will come in multiple actions, click on edit and you can change the email ID. So let's suppose I'll change this email ID to support@firmway.in. I need to give a reason that why I have done that. So I'll say email update. And I'll say submit. Once you submit that, the records updated will a pop-up will show up and you need to get back in this and say send and click on send confirmation. So the email will be triggered shortly and the pie chart will also change its status. So now it is on send. Likewise, if you want to resend the email, the email in the party's inbox has been lost. So what you can do is you can simply click in here, come in bulk action and click on, sorry, my bad. Click on resend the email. Yes, resend, confirm. Okay. Now, with that, how you can view or how you can download a record which has already been responded. So I'll come back to the audit which I have responded the emails. Here you can see view, okay, and you can get the entire page. This is one way of doing it, and you can download the copy from here. If you want to directly download the PDFs of these particular requests, you can click on view and say download. The audit will say the audit request will be saved, and you will get a PDF in such way which will have all the trail, right? The confirmation you have sent, the response you have received, the IP address, and the logs. So this is how you can view in the both ways. Further, if I want to send a reminder to the party, okay, I'll click on the particular entry which I'm selecting to send the reminders, come in bulk action again, resend reminder, select the reminder group of your convenience, select the name, you will get this page updated and click on send. Once the page is updated, you will be able to check whether the reminder has been sent or not in the count. So I'll refresh the page and you can see where the count was 0, now it is updated to 1. This is how you can track the reminders if you are sending it on a manual way. Okay. With this, I conclude the entire session. Before going ahead, I just received a query that how will we download the entire thing in Excel. So many of you as know, we have an option in here that is summary report. You click on summary report and you get a summary report downloaded. Okay, so this is where the both the parties are responded, and I can show you one more in which you can see the delivered status. Okay, so here you can simply get all the details in one Excel file itself. Here you have general information, you have a summary, detailed report in which you get all the details of you and your party, that is auditor, and auditee and the confirmer, the differences and further details that what they have given remarks, what time it was updated at. Okay. Then here we have confirmer logs, that is the party email ID which has been sent and who has been responding on what email ID. Then we have auditee logs, who has prepared, who has verified and sent. Email logs are the reminder logs, which will help you get the reminders, how many reminders have been triggered and sent by who, auditor or system. Okay. Here you can track whether how many how many manual reminders are being triggered or system generated reminders are being triggered. Right. So in this is the thorough process of how you roll out a statutory audit confirmation via Firmway portal and how you can track the same. Do we have any further queries in here? Let's have a look on that. Okay. Before moving ahead, like before addressing any queries, you can still put the queries in there. I have a poll for you. Apart from statutory audit, we do have other products which can be helpful for you and your clients further. We have statutory audit confirmation, which all are the audience using. We have MSME confirmations. We have ledger and statement reconciliation. We have 26 AS reconciliation. We have bank reconciliation. Also, we have stuck off. So either of the products which you're willing to, if you want, I can just give you a quick gist about how we do the MSME confirmation. Similarly, as we do audit confirmation, we have a file to prepare and we roll out the confirmation and take the responses via form, which will again be shown to you in the dashboard, same reflected on the page previously. Ledger reconciliations are quick and with less minimal manual efforts that will reduce the entire part, to do the lookups and formulation. We can quickly put both the files and system will give you the output. 26 AS reconciliation can also be done in the same way. TDS file and the 26 AS file can be put in the portal and get the output in minutes. Bank reconciliation and stuck off. 5 more seconds for this poll. Okay, thank you for your responses. A last poll for this particular session here is, do you want our corporate team to get in touch with you? As you guys previously mentioned that yes, you have interest in certain of our products. So we can definitely arrange a demo for you for the selected product you have interest in. Okay. 5 more seconds on this poll. Great. I have a query which asks that how the domain configuration is done. So I'll quickly brief you about the process again. Okay. So here in settings, when we log into the portal, we go in settings. We have an option of domain configuration. Once we configure the domain in here, we add our domain name. So as my email ID is prerna@firmway.in. So I will add firmway.in over here. Okay. And click on verify this domain. Once I click on verify this domain, an entry will be generated in here. As you can see, there are 2 entries, the 2 domains mentioned in here, right? Then you have a file to download. So there is a download option on the extreme right. There you can click on that. A file will be generated that will say DNS records. Okay. Once this file is generated, you have to simply give this file to your domain service provider. So many of us will have GoDaddy as their domain service provider. Many of them maybe have Microsoft, Google, who you navigate your domain with, right? So whomsoever is your domain service provider, you simply have to give them this file and ask them to refer this and follow the instruction first thing, right? You can follow this instructions. Then we have two sheets additional to it. One is domain, one is DKIM. Okay. In domain sheet, you have record type text, right? So they have to publish these records with the value and the name on the server. Further, the CNAME records also will be published in the same way. Once this is done, okay, once your IT person confirms this is done, you can simply come back in here and click on update status. If the status is failed, it will show as failed. If it is success, it will show as success. Okay. This is how you will complete the domain configuration. Additional to that, once your domain has been configured, that is, once this particular part is configured, my entire email ID is prerna@firmway.in. Now I also need my email ID to be added in here. So I'll go on email configuration, right? Whomsoever is the user added in here, you can simply click that list. Suppose say you want to use this email ID and you have the user with this email ID itself. You will get their email ID in the drop down. Okay, you have to simply click on that and say verify this email. Once you verify that email, the entry will be generated in here. As you can see, the email ID has been successfully validated and the entry has been generated in here. You have to simply refresh it and it will show as failed or success, whatever would be the backend configurations. Okay. If it is failed, you can definitely reach out to us. If it is a generic email ID, you have to, like, the user ID is not generated in here. You have to click on add new email ID, add that particular name. Okay. Let's suppose I'll say test and I will say the email ID. Okay. Once I give this, I'll say verify email. A link will be shared to you on this particular email and you have to simply click on that link. Once you click on that link, your email ID will be successfully updated. You have to refresh it from here and it will show that the validation is either success or either failed. Okay. With this, you will configure both your domain and your email configurations. So this particular email ID will be further shown to you in the drop down of the final settings which we do before rolling out the confirmation. Do we have any further queries? If there are no such queries further, I would like to share with you our contact details on which you can definitely reach out to us. You can definitely drop us an email and if you have to call, you can definitely call on the number given on the screen, right? For those who have selected a product in their interest and has shown as, would like our corporate team to get in touch, we'll after the webinar, we'll have a mailer triggered to you. Also, our corporate team will reach out to you. So you can, as per your availability, give us your slots and we'll arrange a demo for the same. With this, I conclude to the webinar today. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time out of your busy schedules. And the recording for this will also be shared to you. In case of any concerns, do reach out to us. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.